The Scorpio man is perhaps the most enigmatic of all the zodiacs. However, his captivating and sensual gaze makes him a riddle that many want to decipher. So if you've just met a Scorpio man and you still don't know how to decode his behaviour, in this video we look at the psyche and intimate personality. Welcome to LifeSolver, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more weekly videos like this. Scorpio energy is known for its deep and dark emotions, so the person under the zodiac sign will experience his circumstances very intensely. Life and death intermingle within him, which is why his identity is constantly undergoing profound changes. Therefore, the Scorpio man is passionate. He loves with his whole heart and even with his entire soul. He is capable of sacrificing his well-being for the sake of his beloved's comfort, although no one will ever notice as he hides his emotions carefully. Within him lies an endless ocean of deep affections, mixed with consuming desire that ends up turning into a raging tsunami. However, in his expression, you will never see a sign of the most remote discomfort, since he perfectly masters what he displays and never allows himself to be vulnerable in front of others. To others, the Scorpio man is quiet, serious, and solemn. He does not talk to just anyone, and it is not clear what he does in his spare time. Scorpios are very suspicious of their privacy and won't reveal it to practically anyone. Now, if you really set your mind to it, you'll manage to gain his trust, but it will be a long process that will take several tests to overcome. The person who has the patience and strength to do so will be able to access the secret world of the Scorpio man, an exclusive place that very few manage to enter. Afterward, he will be eternally faithful to this relationship and will love and protect it forever. For the Scorpio man, the loving and sexual exchange is powerful and profound, both psychologically and physically. Sexuality can be experienced in very different ways: through control, with the impossibility of letting go and giving oneself entirely to the other, or through total surrender, which allows a vital and transforming force to circulate through both lovers. Therefore, the relationship with a Scorpio man is a great challenge. After he allows you to be part of his private life, everything will become very intense, to the point of never leaving each other's side. So you have to be careful in this phase, as it can make you neglect the rest of your obligations and relationships. But if you manage to get through this first period without it being too absorbing, the relationship will end up stabilizing. Although Scorpio may feel jealous from time to time, although he will not show it openly. Now, the issue will be to encourage him to communicate his feelings. The Scorpio man finds it extremely difficult to put into words what he feels, which can be a great problem. If something bothers him, he will keep it to himself and say nothing about it. Then that discomfort will grow bigger and bigger until he explodes and claims nonsense, making others distressed and clueless. Besides, the great judges that the Scorpio man hoards inside could be easily solved if he would learn to speak more openly. Many times, the situations for which he suffers are mere misunderstandings, and asking for a second opinion would confirm it. The Scorpio man, without realizing it, pretends others can guess his feelings, but nothing is further from the truth, especially since his neutral utterances make it impossible for others to decrypt what's happening inside him. Now, if someone is going through some trouble, the Scorpio man will spot it miles away. He'll be the first to know when things are not going well, and when the environment is not conducive to staying in. The Scorpio man is not afraid of going into the unknown, and that is why he ventures into those situations that others would never dare to experience. Therefore, he helps people to be more courageous and to get in touch with their talents and strength. People feel safe around him, which encourages them to share his fears and rough experiences, as the Scorpio man will never judge them. So if you have a secret or underwent some trauma, there's nothing more comforting than turning to the Scorpio man to get it off your chest. He's not interested in gossip or window dressing, but rather in observing directly into the souls of others, a talent few possess. Attracting his attention through expensive objects or fame will be in vain, as you only care about what is hidden on the inside. Therefore, it is impossible to deceive or cheat the Scorpio man, as he will possess a kind of sixth sense that warns him against the bad intentions of those around him. He will notice it instantly and not allow the person to be part of his life again. However, this is not always positive, as he often ends up distrusting others or mistaking a good deed for something worse. Sometimes he may hear people criticising or conspiring against him when nothing could be further from the truth. Even if he is not going to confront them directly about this, he will be coldly calculating every word and every move, waiting for someone to make a mistake and then silently condemning him. The Scorpio energy is very powerful for the human psyche, and if the person does not channel it properly, he may tend to see the glass as constantly half empty or experience strife in all its relationship and circumstances. If the person identifies with the dark side of the human condition, he will be drawn into situations linked to death, suffering, and omnipotence, which can be potentially self-destructive. Now, if he manages to get out of this state, he can be aware of his greatest talents, such as the ability to accompany the transforming power of pain, or knowing how to sustain intense situations until their healing conditions arise. The Scorpio man is the classic resilient man who can go through numerous crises, one stronger than the others, and rise from the ashes with more power than before, just like a phoenix. Whatever doesn't kill him makes him stronger, as well as more humble and compassionate in the face of human suffering. So if someone thinks he can hurt the Scorpio man's feelings easily, they're in for a surprise. Now, if you get on his nerves, he will hit you where it hurts the most without any kind of effort. He knows other people's Achilles heel, and if he feels betrayed or attacked, he will not hesitate to resort to this talent. Now, when it comes to work, the Scorpio man does not get distracted by socializing or having fun with his colleagues. He appreciates power and money, so he will do his best to get it in the shortest amount of possible time. However, this can be counterproductive, as he focuses all his intensity on achieving ambitious goals. Whatever his target, he devotes everything to achieve it, and for that purpose, he has to cut back on other domains of his life, such as recreation, family life, sleep, leisure, and friendships. Most often, he sacrifices his emotional and sensitive side while sustaining a lot of tension. Scorpios need one challenge after another and cannot and will not relax, since they mistake relaxation for weakness or death. Therefore, it is important to remind him to set limits to his voracity for power, as he may end up getting sick or be left alone at the end of the day. The fantasy of omnipotence is unattainable. He will only end up wanting more and more, and not being able to enjoy his current success. However, if the Scorpio man is aware of his power and learns to manage it maturely, his career will be sustained, while his relationships will be rewarding. If he uses his power to help others and not to mistrust them, then he becomes a great healer and surround himself with loyal people who will accompany him for the rest of his life. Also, as he learns to communicate his feelings, he will manage to help others by commenting on his difficult experiences and advising on how to overcome them. Therefore, having a Scorpio man around is like finding a valuable treasure in the middle of a deserted island. While others seem to focus on superficial issues, the Scorpio man manages to stir your soul and make you appreciate life from a deeper perspective. So, do you have any Scorpio acquaintances who meet these characteristics? Let us know now in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more weekly videos like this one.